Alright guys, and welcome back to another short Lost Ark guide video. This is going to be a Berserker Chaos Dungeon farming build, but first the question is, will it blend?
Do you require assistance?
Alright, jokes aside, this is a really fun spin to win build, so let's take a quick look at the skills here. We've got double slash with 10 points, shoulder charge with 4 points, whirlwind 10 points, power break 10 points, tempest slash 10 points, mountain crash 10 points, and we also have chain sword with 4 points. And once again, you can see the tripods as I hover over, and then we've got red dust with the remainder of the points. So now let's briefly take a look at the gear. Just basic blues. I recently upgraded to the full purple set, but this was recorded before that. I've got some orange accessories, just under 460 item level, and doing the highest chaos dungeon in Vern Castle. And now let's take a quick look at the build in action, and we'll cover the skill rotation, kind of the way it plays, and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Alright, so this is a Mayhem build, or at least I'm using Mayhem for my class engraving. And the nice thing about this build is you've got a lot of short cooldowns, a lot of spinning, a lot of big AoE knockups, disables, and then you have shoulder charge with the shield buff, so that gives you kind of your sustain, survivability that you need. And so the way that you play this build, the way that it kind of works is you just use Mountain Crash to vacuum everything in, and then you start going to town with your spinning, just depending on whatever is up off of cooldown and what seems to be the best situational play at the moment. Pretty much whirlwind every time it's off cooldown, and with the tripod setup I have, I've got the reduced duration that reduces the cooldown along with the knockup, and this combination is by far the strongest for those two tripods because you will get the knockup faster because it only lasts 2 seconds, and you will get the knockup more often because it has a much shorter cooldown. So those two tripods definitely I would recommend using together. You're taking full advantage of the way that they enhance each other. And next up, I have the quick triple slash assigned to my Q, which helps me get a buff from a rune I have equipped on it, which is nice. It's low cooldown, so really only use that ability when I'm not spinning, and as often as I can just to keep the buff up. Once you get into a situation where you are surrounded or you've vacuumed enough stuff in and things are kind of low, you want to go ahead and use your power break with the spin tripod. And the reason you want to wait until the things around you are low enough, you want to soften them up just a little bit before you use it, is because if they survive, it will knock everything back away from you, which can be beneficial at times, but typically it's going to slow down your clear speed. So really only do that if for some reason you're in danger and you just need to get everything off you to keep yourself from dying. I like to kind of soften everything up with whirlwind and then hit the power break, or soften them up with the quick triple slash. The red dust I generally don't use unless there is one of the boss monsters or the elite sort of stronger monsters. I will hit them with that quickly just to kind of soften them up to make it a little easier to bring them down. Otherwise it doesn't really have the AoE to make it worth using just killing the trash mobs. And like I said, with the shoulder charge, you're just really using that to keep your shield buff up and kind of reposition just in between spinning. The shield is kind of essential though. While you are spinning around, you can start to take quite a bit of damage. So you want to keep that up as often as you can. And then we also have the skill on R, the chain slash, I believe it's called. And that I have mostly just because it gives me a crit buff when I use it, and it's also a knock-up, so I don't really cast that unless, again, like I'm trying to bring down one of the boss or the stronger, big, elite monsters. Then the crit buff is nice, and if I've blown all my skills, it takes only, it's a really quick ability to activate and get that nice crit buff to bring those bigger monsters down quicker. If you can use it on trash if you just want to kind of knock them up for whatever reason to get them off you. And then don't forget, you've got your class special ability on the Z key, so it's a nice blend option. Try and use it as often as you can. It's just going to keep your clear speed up, especially on those big monsters. And you can just, delete whichever half of the screen you're facing towards every time you use it. And then we've also got the nice combo ability that I have assigned to the F key, which again is just some more combination spins and blending options. With the tripod setup I have for it, it will just absolutely annihilate the trash mobs. So use that as often as it's up whenever you're facing the trash. You can also kind of drag them with it into more trash and get a lot more knockups with it, which is fantastic. The fastest clear speed I've had with this build so far is around 4.5 minutes, so it's hard to compare it to the sorceress build I have just because different item levels and different chaos dungeons, so it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. But it's very, very fun to play, especially solo, when you can just absolutely group everything up right around you and turn it all into a red mist. So, alright, I hope this helps you guys out. If you've got any comments or suggestions on the build, please leave them down in the comments below. And if you're enjoying the content, also please consider subscribing. So, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. And remember to give them the D.